this content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill
Wait
no one.
a second.
Oh, no.
When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings, you're watching SeptumSin versus the World. I'm SeptumSin, this is Kotobuki Jake, and we're here to show you what they got. So we got some stuff, fun stuff to talk about this week around. We both have 7 apiece, but alas, out of all that, no Gundam.
Oh, none at all, huh?
Yeah, none at all. But that's all right, because we are going to head on into that beautiful Blu-ray, DVD, and 4K footage.
Uh-huh.
What do you think about Dig Dug? I don't know, but I do know that I like it. What do you think about Dig Dug? I don't know, but I do know that I like it. Digging dirt, setting traps. I got a pump that will pump you up. I got monsters to my left. I got monsters to my right. And did I mention a rock? What do you think about Dig Dug? I don't know, but I do know that I like it. Dig Dug, Dig Dug, Dig Dug. What do you think about Dig Dug? I don't know, but I do know that I like it. Dig Dug, Dig Dug, Dig Dug. It's 1982. Namco, what did you do? I got fried guys on my mind. And pukas, yeah, them too. High scores, oh what I'm after. Seeing ghost spells, disaster. What do you think about Dig Dug? I don't know, but I do know that I like it. Dig Dug, Dig Dug, Dig Dug. What do you think about Dig Dug? I don't know, but I do know that I like it. Dig Dug, Dig Dug, Dig Dug. I'm proud to rock the white and blue. I'm proud to rock the white and blue. Proud to rock the white and blue. Proud to rock the white and blue. What do you think about Dig Dug? I don't know, but I do know that I like it. Dig Dug, Dig Dug, Dig Dug. What do you think about Dig Dug? I don't know, but I do know that I like it. Dig Dug, Dig Dug, Dig Dug. Dig Dug, Dig Dug. Dig Dug, Dig Dug. Dig Dug, Dig Dug.
Some beautiful stuff. Matter of fact, I'm just going to start us off today with a lovely little thing called the Golem. How he came into the world. It is a really cool older film. Fought Lost, I believe 1920, I believe is the year. It's a German film, of course, based off of the Jewish mythology about the Golem. It is it's a fairly creepy thing from what I've seen. I've only seen bits and pieces, but Kino Labar has it. And actually, let me put it over here so I can show it. Kino Labar has it so that you can also have it in the future. I think this is the first time that the whole thing has actually been brought to our attention. Kino is pretty good about kind of restoring a lot of the old stuff like that.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
throw it on to you.
Okay. Well, my first item I'm going to talk about this week is one of last year's releases that was positioned as a Oscar bait film, and certainly a number of people mentioned it as a potential snub. And I did intend to see it, actually, and never did make it to the theaters on this one. But that is a movie called Just Mercy, which features Michael B. Jordan, Brie Larson, and Jamie Foxx, if I'm remembering correctly. And Fox in particular, it was given a lot of buzz, and they said he did a really, really good job with it. And I believe it's about a man wrongly convicted and the fight to kind of overturn that. And it's supposed to be great acting all around. I've heard mixed things about the level of the film overall, but definitely the acting is supposed to be excellent. And I would very much like to see this one day.
Well, of course, we're going to go ahead and start off with some of the ones that I have from my own. I'm going to try and put mine over here and then put the poster over here. So we're talking with the John Hughes classic 16 Candles, which is getting an Arrow release, oddly enough. This is, I think it says Arrow on there, yeah.
Wow, they're busy this week.
They are busy. And this is a classic. I mean,
need to watch my copy.
Again, I'm not sure if it's necessarily for me, but it's a nice little romantic comedy. Not one of his best films, but certainly a good film. Back in the heyday of Molly Ringwald. But still a fun film. This version's not too bad. I mean, this is like the flashback edition, which has quite a few bonus features on it. I mean, you can see right here. I mean, there's just a whole bunch of them. So it was kind of fun and decent film, especially if you're a John Hughes fan. I'm sure you'll be like all on that Arrow release.
Well, I already have a copy, but speaking of love 'em or hate 'em actresses, Kristen Stewart's in a new movie coming out this week. It's called Underwater. I believe, if I remember correctly, I think this is a 2020 release. I think it was one of the first films that came out this year. Am I remembering that correctly? Or I know it was. But basically, it takes place on a station well below the surface of the ocean. This is one of those disaster happens underwater sort of deals. And from what I understand, it's one of her more commercial endeavors since Twilight. I'm still fascinated by her filmography. She has made a study out of trying to be anything but that girl from Twilight. But this movie just seems like it might be throwing a wrench in the works. I don't know. So I'm curious about it, but
sounds like fun. I mean, Kristen Stewart can act.
Oh, yeah. She's not a bad actress. Again, there are people that would dispute that. Just like I am not a big fan of Molly Ringwald, and there are people that think I'm crazy. But
Well, this time around, there's a release coming from our anime loving circle, an Essentials, and that is Black Blood Brothers. Let's put that over there.
Nice.
And of course, you can see my copy, the new copy up there. Now, this had something around it at one point. It was a thin pack. I just don't have the little box around it. It's a nice little action vampire anime, which has this vampire traveling with a smaller child vampire and hunting other vampires. So kind of, I guess, a theme for the time.
And if I remember correctly, that's actually set in Korea, isn't it?
I don't know where it is.
I feel like it was. Okay, I'm going to show some ignorance here. I know the area was called Kowloon, but oh wait, no, it is in Japan. Why did I think it was somewhere else? Maybe it's because the song was Korean. I can't remember. Was the song Korean?
Well,
I don't know.
It's a nice little 12-episode series. It's well animated. It's well worth checking out if you really like that sort of thing.
Right. No, I wanted to look this up because I want to make sure I remember it correctly. But what I do remember is the end theme to that show kicks ass. It is a great, great theme song. So, yeah. But anyway, we'll stick with anime for a minute. Funimation, I believe, is releasing a show called Ao-chan Can't Study. I don't know anything about this. I just know it looks cute. It's a fun title. I feel like I read about it and it got decent reviews. I don't think it's going to be a priority pickup for me, but it will be on the radar. And if it shows up really cheap, yeah, well, there you go.
Speaking of on the radar and possibly very cheap, we have another Essentials anime, Bento, which this case it's a save edition, but it's pretty much the same thing as what you're getting up here as the Essentials. And Bento is kind of like this fight club over bento boxes.
Yes.
Which looks to be a
Fight
fun
Club
series.
of grocery stores.
I only saw the first episode, which was 12 episodes, and I need to see the rest, but I got it on sale. And hey, maybe you too will get this on sale and add it to your collection.
I believe that was one of the ones that we were doing a sampling of the anime that year, right?
Yeah,
and
that
we
was
watched
one of
the
that
episode.
year.
Yeah. I liked it. I thought it was fun. I didn't think it was high art, but
Did you end up getting a copy?
Not yet.
Well, you have an opportunity now.
I know. And that little gray stripe is a lot less hideous than that big green stripe. But this one, I believe, also had some green on the cover. There's a movie coming out called Grass, which I believe we looked it up. I believe it was a Korean film, if I'm remembering correctly. And it looked artsy as hell. And that's really all my takeaway from it. I really don't know that I... What's that?
It's artsy. I must have it.
I know. I like Korean films. Pretentious. I don't know. It looks fun.
Well, speaking of art, we have a re-release. A 10th anniversary re-release of Death Kappa. We watched this together, I believe, this year for Horrorween on this channel. So you can hear more about our take on this later. It's kind of a kaiju film about this Kappa.
That's a classic.
And a whole bunch of other weirdness. But it's getting this 10th anniversary attack edition with, I'm going to guess, some more special features. But still, I mean, I got this for very cheap. It went on sale for like next to nothing.
Yeah,
So
I
I
think he
expect
was
it
like 4
still.
or 5.
Yeah.
I'm still kicking myself for not jumping on that, but
Well, you got another shot.
I know. And this is, you said it's an anniversary edition, right?
Correct. 10th anniversary.
Yes. So that might be, it might be a good thing I held out.
Get out more of that Death Kappa goodness.
I know. But that will be a movies galore discussion one of these days. So, a movie that's decidedly less likely to show up on movies galore, but you never know. Anything could happen. Is a movie written by, directed by, and starring Alex Wolff called The Cat and the Moon.
Woo.
IMDb says, whilst his mother seeks treatment and rehab, teenager Nick comes to New York to stay with Cal, a jazz musician friend of his late father's. During his stay, he makes friends who show him what the city has to offer. So you have the use of the word whilst, you have rehab, jazz, and New York. You know this is going to be an artsy movie. I don't know anything about it. I like the title, but that's the main reason I picked it. Yeah.
Inside Movies Galore needs to do a high art month. I don't think it's going to get 30 voters, but
you never know. Artsy August. There you go.
So, with that,
yeah, there you go. Art House August. What's up?
Let's talk about high art. A film called I See You with Sylvester Stallone, also in some circles known as Detox, is re-releasing.
Nice.
So you can get this on like HD. Me, I have the regular edition. I like this. A friend of mine showed it to me. I mean, it's about Stallone. I think I showed you this movie, didn't I?
I don't believe I've seen it.
Stallone is this cop, and he ends up losing his partner to this killer. And he goes into just basically falls into the bottle. So he gets sent to this special detox in the middle of like this barren wasteland in order to try and get himself better. And he's with a bunch of other former police officers from various countries who are also engaging in this program. Unfortunately, there's also a killer amongst them who is hunting them down one by one. It's a pretty cool suspense film. I really enjoy it. It's a good one for like a snow day or something like that.
Good times.
Oh, yes. Very good times.
Corona day. Okay. So, speaking once again, back to the theme of high art. We have a Criterion release this week. And this is actually one that I do need to see. This has been on my radar for a good long while. And it is a little film from 1939 called Destry Rides Again. Directed by George Marshall, stars James Stewart and Marlene Dietrich. And IMDb says, when a tough Western town needs taming, the mild-mannered son of a hard-nosed sheriff gets the job. Supposedly, this is the film that started James Stewart's second career as a Western star. And to be honest, I have only seen a handful of his Westerns, but this is, again, considered a very important film. I love that Criterion is putting it out. From what I remember, they're doing kind of a weak release. Like there's some good special features, but nowhere near as much as you could have done. But not bad for an old Western, I guess. But definitely want to see this one. And it may even go on my July pickup list. especially if we do end up doing another Western month. It would be good to have some ready to go.
I've got like one or two already on my list, but that Godzilla set is probably going to take up all my money.
I want that too. I want.
So this one here is another one that I have, and that is Police Squad, the complete series.
Nice.
In color. So this has
Ooh.
come out again, and it's 6 episodes. For those of you who remember, because they're not that big right now, but the Naked Gun series was pretty popular in the 90s.
They were
And
classics.
early 2000s.
We need to cover those.
Yep, they were fun. Leslie Nielsen did a lot of fun with that. It was a comedy in the vein of, well, Airplane.
Right.
And it was just a fun, like, cop movie and cop set of movies. And this was the series it was based off of. And I don't know much about it, so I'll have to watch it one of these days, 6 episodes. But it is getting re-released, so hey, more people might be exposed to it. I'd like to get a set with the Trilogy, and this being one of those like extra features that came because there's only 6 episodes.
Right.
So I think
actually I could see Naked Gun being prime for like that trilogy being prime for a release from Arrow or from Shout Factory. That could be, yeah.
That would be kind of cool. I could see that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's my last one.
Speaking of Arrow and their oddball releases, we have 2 coming out this week from them. One is called the Taisho Trilogy, and one is called Stray Cat Rock. And to be honest, I have forgotten the movie list for both of these. One of them obviously is 3 films. The other one, I think Stray Cat Rock was like 5 films, wasn't it? 4 or 5?
Yeah, it was 5 films.
Yeah. They're both collections of Japanese films that look really odd. And I love the idea of Japanese films that are really odd getting the Arrow release. I'm not familiar with any of the films, but just the fact that these sets exist makes me happy, and I will probably be looking for them. Because Arrow has a strong tendency to do low print runs, especially for their cool stuff, I don't know if I'll get a chance, but any of you out there who are actively collecting Japanese cinema or anything Arrow should probably give these a look.
Most definitely.
Yep.
So that's it for this time around. Well, I hope you all have enjoyed this particular episode of SeptumSin versus the World. And we will be continuing. For those of you who are missing my stroll video, I decided since our vlogcast has been going up on Mondays, I'm going to start posting the stroll videos on Fridays. One good thing about getting tax money back is that I might be able to buy a decent webcam because the camera in this new computer is not even as good as the old one, which is kind of sad, actually. I'm gonna change that. I am gonna change that.
Oh yes.
So I guess that's it, and we will see you on the next one.
Bye.
Goodbye.